All right, friends, here we are. Back again for another go at Flight Sim 2020 with the Pimax Crystal. But today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to look for a particular piece of kit that I bought. Now, it's not a new airplane. It's actually a scenery package that I got. So let's see if I can figure out how to show it to you. One of my pet peeves about Flight Sim 2020 is that you're dependent on the internet to download your scenery for you if you want photogrammatically accurate scenery. So, c'est la vie, right? What would be nice is if you could have scenery downloaded onto your computer that was already perfect. Unfortunately, that would be hugely expensive in terms of disk space and time. So let's take a look and see if there is an alternative, which I believe there is. I just have to figure out where I found it. Oh, dear me. Okay. Owned. Let's look at owned stuff only. Okay, so what have I got here? I'm looking for Canada's modern cities. Can you see it over here? Now, what this is supposed to do, as you can see, is it's a redesign of several cities in Canada, Calgary, Edmonton, and Ottawa, that gives you better textures and almost, I don't know if it's photogrammatic, but really 400 handcrafted models. And the idea is that it makes the cities look better. Well, that's a beautiful thing. And also, if you have an iffy internet connection like I do, and you're always being told that photogrammetry has been turned off because of your internet connection, well, this is supposed to work well without that. So I've already got it installed, but if you scroll down, you can see here, it looks pretty good. That's Calgary. I remember I lived there for a year. Very confusing city. It's divided into 4 quadrants. Northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, and I got lost so much there. It was unbelievable. And then down here, I think we've got Ottawa, and I'm not sure what this is. There's lots of pictures here. But what I want to see is how it looks with photogrammetry on and photogrammetry off. Let's have a look at some of the pictures. Boy, that does look pretty good, doesn't it? We'll just cycle through a few of them. Yep. Oh, and it's supposed to look really good at night, too. I've already got the enhanced nighttime lighting for the city of Edmonton, but I don't think I have it for anything else. So it'll be really interesting to see how this works. Now, this has been installed on my machine. It's from Samsung 3D, and it's called Canada's Modern Cities Volume 1. Covers Edmonton, Calgary, Ottawa. And it's not very expensive, but if it does the job, you know, I think it could be a good buy. Let's find out. Let's just go to World Map, and let's go to Calgary. No, let's go to Edmonton. I know Edmonton better because I lived there twice. We'll take off from Cooking Lake. There used to be a fantastic airport called the Municipal Airport right in the middle of Edmonton's sort of northeast downtown area, and it was fabulous. But the airport authority complained and said they would get more international flights if that got shut down to commercial flights and blah, blah, blah. So they shut that down, and then after 9/11, they decided it was a hazard, which was code speak for real estate developers are greedy and need more money, so they bulldozed it down, and they're turning it into commercial real estate, which is really sad. But anyway, we'll take off from Cooking Lake, and we'll see if we can head to Edmonton. And through the joys of quick editing, the next time you see this We'll be in the airplane, on the runway, and in VR. Okay, now we're in the airplane. Let's see if I can get my hands on the controls fast enough to save us from crashing. This bloody thing out of the way. There we go. I don't like those notifications very much. Alright. Taking off from Cooking Lake. On the road to Edmonton. Oh, the Edmonton Oilers were currently down 3 games to 2 in the Stanley Cup final against the Florida Panthers, which is a very good, very well-coached hockey team. Paul Maurice has done a great job with that team. I remain hopeful that the Oilers can pull it off, but you never know. It's a hard life, and it's a hard game. I will never, ever get over what a game-changer VR is for flight simulation. And this Pimax crystal is, oh, look at the reflections. Oh my gosh, the sun's reflecting off something down there, sparkling in my eyes. Isn't that something? And you can see the city off in the distance as the sun gets low on the horizon. I can't remember what kind of an airplane I'm flying with. Oh gosh, I'll have to put it in the notes, I guess. Oh dear. But again, I'm not here to test this airplane or to even really stretch the limits of Flight Sim 2020. I just want to see how this add-on program to enhance Edmonton scenery works. And we'll try it with photogrammetry on and photogrammetry off. I do struggle with the internet for my location sometimes. But that's life. New headsets on the way. My friend Steve over at DR Flight Sim Guy has been testing the IMAX Crystal Light, and there's 2 forms of that. One with dimming, automatic dimming, and one without. Oh, I love those reflections, those are awesome. And he's also tested a prototype version of the Somnium, which looks like it could be outstanding. And of course we're hoping in the fall, sometime between now and December, to see the Crystal Super Unleashed. I'll get a pre-order in on that. And even though I'll probably have to sell a couple of teeth and maybe a kidney. Oh, the things we do for our hobbies, right? And I thought golf was expensive. Speaking of golf, there are some great golf courses in the Edmonton area. In the city itself, there's Victoria Golf Course, which is fun, and Riverside, which is amazing, and a bunch of private courses that I didn't play too much. They were really good as well. And then there's a couple of courses in Sherwood Park, towards St. Albert, I think. If you like golf. Since my heart surgery, I haven't been very good at it. It was 3 years before I felt I could swing a club again, and then I hit every ball the same distance with every club, at 75 yards. I'm doing a little better than that now, but don't hold my word. It's been an epic journey trying to learn how to golf again. Trying to get the stamina back is impossible, but I think I some of the strength back, so I'm working on that. Strength, flexibility, and a positive attitude. As you get older, you sort of have to expect issues to arise. You just deal with them as they come along. So this is kind of an industrial area of Edmonton. It's grown a lot since I lived there many years ago, and I'm not exactly sure if this is part of Sherwood Park or not. I mean, it could be, but it looks pretty good anyway. I have this love-hate relationship with Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. I mean, I love that it looks so great, but I hate that it takes so long to load, and I really hate that so much of it is the scenery that's kind of downloaded and enhanced as you go. And if I'm not mistaken, Flight Sim 2024 is going to be mostly a cloud-based game. You know, I'd like it if we could just, I don't care if I have to buy an 8 terabyte drive. Just give me the data for all the places I want to fly and let me download it so I can play it offline and load quickly. I don't normally play with other people, although I think it would be fun once in a while. Coming back to Steve, the Flight Sim guy, he has flights of people on weekends sometimes where they all get together and scurry off somewhere. There's the river. That's the North Saskatchewan River. And the south. Doesn't matter. I had an engineering friend who was kind of overly ambitious. He wanted to build a bridge across the Saskatchewan River lengthwise. Yeah. Okay, so from here, as we're sort of going into the sun, it's not as hard as it is in real life. In real life, flying into the sun at sunset, I remember once flying into YXE, I had to ask them to turn the lights on the runway because there was so much glare I couldn't see it. Once they did that, it was fine. It was okay. Boy, I'll tell you what. I've never liked landing into the sun. I don't like driving into the sun either. Do you do this? Do you plan your trip so that if you're going east and west, you go west in the morning and east in the evening? I don't. That's what I try to do when I'm driving across Canada. If I'm going east to west, I try to set it up so that I'm driving with the sun on my back all the time. I don't know if you guys remember, if any of you are old enough to remember the first iterations of Flight Sim. The first I saw was on an Apple IIe that a friend of mine owned, and it ran at about 5 frames per second. We couldn't really get the airplane in the air. I mean, we managed to get it out of the hangar, and we taxied it around, and it was, well, pretty pathetic by today's standards, but we thought it was the most amazing thing in the world. By the mid-'80s, I was playing a fairly good version of Flight Sim on my Atari ST. But the progress since then has been astonishing, to say the least. Okay, so we're going to fly over the arena where the Oilers play. This is fairly new. They used to have an arena over east of here called Northlands Coliseum. And now they have this huge, beautiful arena called Rogers Place. And it's rejuvenated this area of downtown, which was pretty run down when they built it. And there were a lot of complaints from people about how much it cost and how the government should be subsidized, should not be subsidizing business. I don't know if I agree with that. You know, I'm a musician and I've been an actor, and the government subsidizes the building of opera houses, music halls. And it's not like the owner of Rexall Place and the Oilers didn't put a lot of his own money in. But it's really done wonders for the downtown area there. And I have to admit, wow, this really does look good. Especially from the open cockpit aircraft. Okay, let's just pause this. And let's see if I can go into general options. Data. I want to turn photogrammetry off and see what it looks like. Photogrammetry right here. Let's turn it off and see how this works. Apply and save. Now, the makers of the add-on package here, this Modern Cities, argue that the city will still look great. We'll see. It takes a minute for Flight Sim to change things. It's one of the issues I have with Flight Sim is you can grow a beard waiting for it to load. But on the other hand, I used to load Flight Sims from a cassette tape onto an Atari 400, so back in the day. All right, resume. But you know, photogrammetry off, and it still really does look good. Now, I would think that I would see a degradation, and maybe I would if I looked closely enough at buildings that aren't modeled. But there are 400 buildings that are modeled, along with bridges and other things in the city, so I have to say this is photogrammetry off, and it still looks great. So maybe this little company that made this add-on will do this for other cities. You know, I don't recognize this bridge. Is this a new bridge? I don't remember that. My goodness. The city has changed from when I lived here. But it was a happening time when I was here, and we had a lot of fun. We played golf in the summer and skied in the winter. I had a friend who had well, not really a friend, an acquaintance, who invited us up to his penthouse suite a couple of times, from which we could watch a AAA baseball team. It was pretty cool. There's the football stadium. It used to be called the Eskimos. They called something else. The Elks, I think? Yes, the Edmonton Elks. Once again, political correctness wins. Maybe that's a good thing. But I don't know. My family is from Finland. If they wanted to call a team the Finns, I wouldn't be offended. But you know what? That's one of the problems with subtle forms of racism. We don't get to decide what should offend other people, do we? And I don't think we should. I think if First Nations people find it offensive, all right. I don't want to offend anybody. It's a big country, and we have to all work together to make it work. So we don't have a problem with it, I guess. I just think in a way it's kind of So what do you think? Can you see a difference between photogrammetry on and photogrammetry off? Let's stop again and just give this a try. Let's turn photogrammetry back on and see if we see any differences. Data. That's what we're looking for. Photogrammetry on. Bing. Okay, let's go. And let's apply that. Save. It'll take a second or two again. Feel free to go out and get a cup of coffee and maybe use the bathroom if you need to. Have a shower or shampoo. Call your best friends. Make supper. Well, hopefully it won't take that long. I haven't got anything fancy turned on either. I haven't got, I don't think I'm using OpenXR, and I'm still getting 37 frames per second. Okay, here we are. Let's go back and resume. So the only thing I've noticed is that the frame rate is dropping. But the buildings, I mean, they looked great before, they look great now. So. I don't know, but I've been told. Photogrammetry never gets old. What do you think of that? The poet who didn't know it. The CN building. I remember when I lived in Edmonton, when I moved there in the late 70s. The CN building is one you can see when you look down Jasper Avenue. It was maybe the tallest building around. That was a long time ago. It was back before Pierre Trudeau completely screwed the province with his national energy program. It cost Alberta billions and billions of dollars. Remember the airport I was talking about? The municipal airport? It doesn't look like they've done much with it. They should have left the bloody thing alone. It was a terrific little airport. I used to fly back and forth between Calgary and Edmonton on business. They decided to make that impossible to force people to use the Edmonton International Airport, which is a 45-minute drive out of town. You know, money and bullshit work hand in hand when things like this happen. Greed, money, and bullshit. Pardon my language. Other cities now across North America are looking to build regional airports like this. They killed to have them. And it was nice because you fly your own airplane in there and you're right in the middle of town. Good. I wonder if I can land on that strip or if it's too broken up. That's as good a way to end this little video as any. Sorry to complain so much. I'm just quite passionate about aviation. When they decided that this airport needed to close, I got sad and discouraged. Well, how many runways do we have left here? They look pretty beat up, don't they? Yeah, they sure do. Is there one that's worth landing on? Well, if I can land short enough, maybe. Do a little slipping turn here. We'll just try and scoot around things here. Funny, I think in Microsoft they give you, in Flight Sim, they give you bonus points for landing on grass, like it's harder. Actually, landing on a grass strip for particularly if you're flying a tail dragger, is I think quite a bit easier than landing on pavement. Anyway, we're down safe, and I would say I have to give this. I would say I have to give this scenery enhancement an A+. Turn it off. Photogrammetry still looks good. I mean, the non-photogrammatic scenery still looks great with all the work they did on Edmonton. And you could try it in Ottawa and Alberta and Calgary, Alberta too. And I think it's worth the dough. I think it costs like 21 bucks Canadian. Shoot, that won't even buy a round of beers these days after the game, right? So it's a pretty good buy. And that's makes it time for me to say goodbye. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful. And if you like Canadian scenery and Canadian towns, maybe you'd like to pick up this little add-on and Modern Cities Canada #1 and see what you think of it. I think you might be pleasantly surprised. Have a great time. Enjoy VR flying. Enjoy your life. And we'll talk again soon.